Without spiritual training, we have always learned to work in the selfish mode. Why am I here? So that I get a good degree. Why? So that I get a good position. Why? So that I earn money. So the selfishness makes us attached. The results are for myself. If they come, very good. If they don't, then what will happen? Spirituality teaches us that you are not just by yourself. You are a part of an entire system.
So, you know that the reason we feel stress is because our intentions are selfish. But if we don't have any intentions, what will drive us? What will make us have determination or inspiration in the first place?
That's a good question. Without spiritual training, we have always learned to work in the selfish mode. Why am I here? So that I get a good degree. Why? So that I get a good position. Why? So that I earn money. So the selfishness makes us attached. The results are for myself. If they come, very good. If they don't, then what will happen? Spirituality teaches us that you are not just by yourself. You are a part of an entire system. Alright? Like the hand is a part of the body. So, the self-interest of the hand lies in serving the body. By doing so, it is automatically nourished with what it needs. If the hand says, why should I serve this body? Cut me apart. It will not be able to sustain itself. It was in serving what it's a part of that the hand receives what it needs. The spirituality tells us that you are not disjointed from the world as today. The environmental problem makes us realize it's in the self-interest of everyone. So it is in serving the whole that the part will find its satisfaction. This leads to the philosophy of Karma Yoga, where karma becomes a form of worship. Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhosi dadasi yad Arjun. Whatever you do, make it an offering to the Supreme. So in that way, your motivation will be higher than before. Earlier you thought it's for this little me, and now it's for the Supreme. So I must do it to the best of my ability. And even while doing it, the results are not for my enjoyment. So after doing my best, if the results didn't come as I wanted, well, so good, I'll try harder next time. The stress comes when the results we are attached to. And the moment the detachment takes place, you can be doing the most intricate kinds of works. You will still not be stressed. You see, the Bhagavad Gita is not a retirement plan as many people have preconceived notion. Arjun wanted in fact to go away into the jungle when he said, oh, the goal is not the world with God. But Lord Krishna keeps on inspiring him, do your work, but do it with a higher intention.
When you said earlier that happiness is a choice, we choose to be happy, and then you related it to something we care about. The example that comes to me is like a mother that is concerned for the kid, like how worried about the kid, if the kid will study or not, if the kid will be able to be successful or not. So when we apply detachment and we think about it in that way, should the mother be less stressed if she is detached, or should she try harder or a different approach?
The mother is thinking, this is my child, and that is the cause of all stress. One lady came to me, 40-year-old lady, and said, Swamiji, I am so stressed. I said, what are you stressed about? Your children? She said, how do you know? I said, for 35 years I've been a spiritual counselor. I know what people are stressed about. Everybody in middle age is stressed about their child. Yes, I'm so stressed. So I said, what do you do as a profession? She said, I'm a teacher. I said, how many children are there in your class? She said, 40. You are taking care of 40 children in class and you find no stress. 1 or 2 children in your home and you are so stressed. Stress is not coming because you are taking care of them. Stress is coming because of the mental attachment. So the mother has naturally by instinct learned she is my child. Now she needs to learn, this is not my child. This is the child of God. And I have been given this responsibility of taking care of this child as a divine service. I will do it to the best of my ability. And that is all I can do. So the mother will do her job carefully without the tension that accompanies it.
Namaste, Swamiji. You mentioned about how problems are inevitable in humans. There are certain problems which are self-created, and in some humans don't have too much of a choice to make. For instance, the hindrance of death. In such situations, how does one connect spiritually or tap into their inner self? And the motivation in such cases, how do we go about it?
Yes, that is a very interesting question. In fact, so many problems are self-created. And when we discover such a problem, with sincerity, we should accept, I am not perfect. I have this shortcoming. And the fact that I have realized I have this problem should inspire me to focus on the solution. And that focusing on the solution will help you grow. In fact, the Bhagavad Gita starts with exactly this situation. Arjuna discovers that he has a problem which is inside of him. He doesn't find the courage to do his duty. So the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna Vishad Yog. He is in Vishad, or he is melancholic. But that melancholy, when tackled with the positivity, will lead to yoga, or growth or evolution. So we all have deficiencies because we are all works in progress. Right? Nobody is perfect. So if you look at yourself and find problems, it should never lead to despondency. Oh my God, I am so terrible. We have been terrible, our philosophies of many lifetimes. Never mind what we are. How do I take the next step? And then how do I take the next step? And how do I take the next step? So this is the incremental growth that we need to accept as the pathway to the ultimate perfection.